Hello everyone, I am so excited to welcome you to this new podcast, Bitch Please, I'm a Goddess. This is a podcast all about finding and becoming your inner goddess. So in other words, your fullest, truest self as a feminine being. That version of you that feels confident, vibrant, free, alive, radiant and expressive in her mind, body and soul. My name is Kasia, and I've been on this journey of trying to connect with my fullest, truest self, or what I've now come to understand as my inner goddess. I've been on that journey for a number of years now, and I feel like I'm overflowing with wisdom that I really want to share with the world. I feel very passionately about women reclaiming their power, remembering their own divinity, stepping into alignment with who they were born to be on this earth, not only for their own individual empowerment, but also because the world actually really needs it. As women, we are goddesses. We are the goddess in human form. The goddess literally works through us. But sadly, and through no fault of our own, we have forgotten that. We live in a patriarchal world where women are oppressed every single day, forced to shrink and hide, disown their power, and relinquish their voice. I've certainly felt that as a woman, and I don't think there is a woman in the world who hasn't felt that. Also, feminine qualities such as intuition, bodily wisdom, compassion, sensuality, unbridled expression are not valued. And not only are they not valued, but we are also often shamed if we display those qualities, called crazy and many other things. And because of that, many women around the world are struggling, and unfortunately, toxic masculinity, which is the shadow side of the masculine, there is a good, healthy side as well, like everything, but the toxic masculine has taken over, which is leading to war, greed, corruption, violence, destruction of the earth, and so much other suffering. I believe the feminine is desperately needed to rebalance the energies on the earth and help it to heal. And for that to happen, women must step into their full, authentic expression and power. So that is the reason why I'm creating this podcast. My goal is to help us women to rise and thrive. It's obviously a very big goal, a goal that I can't do alone, but I do hope that this podcast can contribute. So let's go back to this word goddess and go a little bit deeper. What do I mean by finding and becoming your inner goddess? This can mean many different things, and every single woman will probably tell you something different, and that's the beauty of it. We all have our own unique goddess essence, and it's likely to be ever-changing as well. So one day you'll want to connect with her in one way, and then another day it will be something completely different. For me, it's very much about stepping into your fullness, embracing your truest, most authentic essence, and tapping into your highest potential as a feminine soul. For example, that could mean knowing who you are, inside out, and showing up unapologetically as your authentic self. Loving and accepting every aspect of you, both light and dark. Stepping into your gifts and your power. Pursuing your passions, the things that light you up, and magnetizing your dreams and your desires. Expressing yourself freely, fearlessly, without inhibitions, without shame, without holding back. Owning your voice, speaking up when you need to, saying no when it's not right, saying yes when it is right. Being in your artistry and creativity. Connecting with your body, particularly your yoni and womb space. Living in tune with your feminine rhythms and cycles. Trusting your inner knowing and intuition. Allowing space for the full spectrum of emotion, feeling those emotions fully and deeply. embracing your sensuality, feeling sexy and confident in your body, and living a life full of pleasure and joy. Celebrating your own unique beauty, both inner and outer beauty. Believing truly and deeply in your own worth and value, and having the courage to take up space. So that's a lot of things that I've just listed, and that is not an exhaustive list. There are many other things that connecting with your inner goddess could mean. It's really important to me that those words are not just superficial, empty words, because, it's very easy to say, oh, you need to step into your power. Okay, but how on earth do you do that, right? I really want this podcast and my offerings in general to have a lot of substance to them. So not just vague blanket statements, but like really going deep with juicy insights and practical guidance and tools to cultivate that goddess within you. And it's ultimately about getting to a place where you are so grounded in your own worth and divinity that if anyone tries to make you shrink, whether it's someone external or whether it's your own inner critic, which, let's be honest, can be our worst enemy sometimes. If anyone tries to make you shrink, it doesn't affect you one little bit. And you can just turn around and be like, bitch, please, I'm a goddess. You know what I mean? That's basically what this is about. And with that said, here are some things that we'll be exploring. So, number 1, the divine feminine mysteries. This is ancient wisdom, all about living in alignment with your feminine energy. So things like how to align your life with your cycle. So this is your menstrual cycle if you have one, but if you don't have one, your body can also sync to the cycles of the moon. How to build a connection with your womb space. So the womb is the seat of our power as women. She can guide us, but she can also help us create and manifest things in our lives, which is really, really beautiful. How to worship the goddess. The goddess has many different faces and qualities, and she comes in many different forms across cultures and civilizations. So we've got, for example, Kali from Hindu culture, Baba Yaga from Slavic culture, which is my culture, Oshun from African culture, Brigid from Celtic culture. There are many different goddesses, and we can connect with all of them and all their different qualities. Number 2, astrology. Astrology has been such an empowering tool on my journey. It really enabled me to discover who I am as a soul. And at this point in my life, I really feel like I know myself inside out. And much of that is really thanks to astrology. For those of you who don't know, according to astrology, everyone is born with a birth chart, and a birth chart is a map of your soul, which is completely unique to you. It tells you the exact energies that you're working with in this life. It tells you your gifts, your potential, but also your blind spots and your blocks. It tells you the way you experience life. It can tell you so much, and it can be so validating, and everything is laid out for you in your chart. So it can be really, really powerful. It's a very deep and rich way to understand your true self and essence, which I think is the starting point of everything, really. And number 3, artistic expression. So I have been on a long and arduous journey with my own artistic expression. I sing, I dance, I also create photo art. It's always been my dream to be an artist, particularly a singer. But for a long time, I just could not find my voice. I couldn't locate my body to dance with it. I had so much fear around getting in front of a camera. So much was blocking my expression. But I've spent a lot of time working on releasing those blocks, and the freedom that's come with it is just indescribable. So I really wanted to share this piece as well, because I know that there are so many women out there who are yearning to express fully and unapologetically, which is a big part of goddess energy, I would say. So those are a few things I'll be sharing, but also there'll be more. This podcast is really about everything and anything that could help women and the feminine in general to rise and to thrive. My hope is to bring in ideas from many different fields, so from psychology, energy work, ancient spiritual wisdom, quantum healing, the arts, embodiment, all of it's really important. There are no limits. I really want to give you a holistic, multidimensional experience because, we are multidimensional beings after all. The goddess is a multidimensional being. And there will be a focus on the feminine as well. At some point, I want to invite in conversations with others, with people who are experts in those fields. And the idea is to go deep, but also to break it down in a simple, understandable way. Hopefully, you can then pick and choose what resonates with you and take away what you need from it. I do just want to add that this is not about women or the feminine taking over. It's about empowering women, empowering the feminine so that we can coexist equally and harmoniously alongside men and the masculine, the healthy masculine. And as a result, create an earth that is more peaceful and balanced. So this is the premise of the podcast. I hope I've managed to intrigue you. I'm right there with you, learning and embodying this wisdom too. We're in this together. It's going to be deep, but it's also going to be fun. I'm definitely all about making it fun. And it's going to be badass. We're going to bring some badass, unapologetic vibes to this podcast because, the goddess herself is pretty badass, I'd say. So thank you so, so much for tuning in to this first episode of Bitch, Please, I'm a Goddess. I am so excited to see how this podcast develops. I can feel in my bones that it's going to be epic, that it's really going to serve you. So I'm so, so pleased to be here with you. That's it for now. If you want to connect with me, you can send me a message on Instagram. My handle is Kasia Lydia, so KasiaLYdia, or you can message me on my website, which is www.kasialydia.com. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Much love. Bye.